I bought this solely for the woman with the cat because that's like my aesthetic. Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I am doing a book haul video. So in my last video, I went through and I got rid of 2 huge Pampers boxes full of books. I took them to a used bookstore and the guy took all of them. I'm not sure if he's going to sell all of them, but whatever, he gave me some credit. I'm not going to talk about ebooks in this video because I've got way too many of those. So I might do a separate video about all the ebooks that I bought. Maybe I'll do one every like 3 months or something because I buy a lot of ebooks. Anyway, I've got 2 piles here. This one's from the used bookstore. So I basically traded in like 50 books and got 14. And then I've got 4 others that I just bought randomly the last month or so. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through and I'm going to tell you what I bought. So I bought Clifford D. C-Max City. I bought it for the cover. It's a masterful tale of Earth overrun by ants, a series of parallel worlds ruled by dogs, and a Jupiter where human race finds its golden age, if human it could still be called. So this strange and fascinating story of the future of man describes a tomorrow that's completely enthralling. By Galaxy. Yeah, so I bought this simply because, wouldn't you have bought this? It sounds amazing. Yeah, so super cool. Excited with that one. I bought this one by a novel by Dave Duncan called Shadow. To save his prince, he must destroy the kingdom. I obviously bought this because this man is riding an eagle. On the back it says Shadow Play. On a decadent planet light years from Earth, young Sald Harl wanted only to ride the winds on his great eagle. But when he was unexpectedly appointed Prince Shadow, bodyguard to the Crown Prince of Rantora, he feared he would be stripped not only of his name and his independence, but also of his dreams of being a skyman. Then a journey to the outer reaches of the realm brought long hidden secrets to light, and suddenly Shadow found himself accursed of high treason. To save himself and his prince, he would have to risk a desperate flight no man had yet survived unscathed. His only hope lay with the eagles, and they had their own secrets. I'm curious if the eagles talk. He who ever trusts a bird never speaks another word. That's apparently a Skyman proverb. Yeah, anyway, I'm interested in that. I got Jack Vance, the Durder, the Deeder, the Deeder, whatever, Chachai, Planet of Adventure, number 3. Oh, number 3? I didn't realize that when I bought it. Man, oh well. Chachai 3. Oh, maybe that's just the name of the planet. I'm confused. Getting back to Earth from the planet Chachai involved not only stealing a spaceship or having one built to order, for Chachai was the abode of several intelligent starborn races and as such had space yards. But Adam Reith's problem was not so simple. Sorry guys. He already had been lucky to escape the Chash and the Wank and the dozen different types of humans, and now his course led directly to the great Savichi space yards and the dominions of the Durdur. But the Durdur were quite different from the other aliens who competed for this world. They were quicker, more sinister, and had an unrelenting thirst for hunting victims like Adam Reith. The closer he came to his objective, the keener their hunting instincts would become. Yeah, this is awesome. So I read Jack Vance's Big Planet, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, so I have a feeling I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this one. Is there a picture in it? Oh, yeah. Nice. The next one I got is Rite of Passage by Alexei Panshin. Very much, how old is this one? This one's 68. Yeah, clearly a 60s. What's with their sandals? I don't know. Anyway. In 2198, after the desperate wars that destroyed Earth, man lives precariously on 100 colony worlds and in the 7 giant ships that once ferried man to the stars. Young Mia Havero has lived a safe and happy childhood aboard one of the great ships. But now Mia approaches the age of the trial, when children are tested against the hostile wilds of the colony world, to survive or perish. This sounded really fun. Also, I like that there's a female main character, because you don't get that as often. But yeah, I'm really super into this one, and I kind of want to bump it up on my DVR. Ray Cummings' Tama of the Light Country, kidnapped by a spaceship. I bought this solely because it was like the tiniest movie I've ever seen. Also because of the spaceship part. Are all artificial satellites circling the Earth ours? How can we be sure? How can we be sure that these little metal globes, these observational devices with their top secret interiors, were all made on Earth? I think we know how to do that. Perhaps there was one up there that was not. Perhaps, guys. When such a space satellite was located, it caused a furor, but that was nothing to. Sorry, but that was nothing to what happened when it was accompanied by a mysterious rash of kidnappings. Young girls were being taken away, carried off to some destiny in outer space. I hope the destiny is that they become sword women fairy things and not like something really something I don't want to read about. But we'll see. 1965. Okay, he donated it to his great-granddaughter, or his granddaughter, so hopefully that means that it's not like a weird kind of non-consensual issue here. Anyway. Jack Vance again! Oh yeah, the Dragon Masters. Check out that cover. Oh my god, these are so long. The basics of the wandering star Coraline swept the heavens, searching out pockets of hidden humanity to be bred as their slaves and warriors. Practically invulnerable through their technical achievements, they raided planets at will. Now after a passage of generations, they were about to return to Aerolith, perhaps the last of the human-dominated worlds, where feudal lords, the remnants of the once proud human empire, trained and bred all shapes and sizes of war dragons to fight their battles. Only one of the dragon lords, Joaz Banbeck, realized the danger and had the foresight to prepare. But what could his dragons and spearmen do against the heat beams and ion rays of the approaching invaders? He would have to think of something, for he carried the fate of Aerolith and all mankind. I guess that's him. Ooh, Armada. By Michael Jean. It came to the earth at the speed of light, and nothing could stop it. In the year 1995, high above the earth in starlit velvet blackness, three people encounter one of man's greatest hopes and most terrifying fears, intelligent alien life. Nathaniel Broadsword, the ruggedly handsome space shuttle captain, Margot Chambers, his strong, sensual co-pilot, and Curtis Baxter, the irascible loner who thought he'd left Earth's problems behind him long ago. It's just listing, it doesn't even explain anything. They want adventure, and they get it, with the discovery of the great mass hurling towards Earth. Soon, much too soon, it is close enough to be identified. A ship, a battleship, 10 miles long. No communication can raise it. No pleas for peace can stop it. They call it Armada, and its purpose is suddenly, frighteningly clear. Attacking Earth, I'm assuming? That is like a super cool cover. I showed all these to my partner, who is usually not impressed with my books, and he was like, that's a sweet cover. I'm like, yeah, I know. Brian Eldest, Star Swarm. My husband called it Star Shawarma. I'm like, no. But now that's what I'm going to call it. 10,000 brave new worlds. 1 million years have passed since ancient man first launched his frail metal crafts into the great darkness named outer space. Oh, outer space. Oh my god, there's like a thing on here. Now, outer space. I call myself a sci-fi fan. Now, distant galactic clusters are home to the myriad descendants of the inhabitants of old Earth. Now, each world, light years separate from the others, forms part of an island universe called Star Swarm, or a Star Shawarma. Yet each island remains uneasily bound to all others, for the creatures that people Star Swarm, were once of the race called human, and among these 10,000 brave new worlds, man's brutal, timeless struggle for conquest goes. Okay, so it sounds like it's basically just like a typical, like, humans are dumb book. Because humans are dumb. Anyway. Right-Handed Wilderness by Robert Wells. This one's got a kind of a cool, like, alien feel to it. AHT 233, Autoheterotroph 233, a life form so highly adapted that it can feed on literally anything. Starting as a chemical, it can develop into a plant and end up as a plant animal. Under control, it's an infinitely useful, indeed vital source of high-grade protein. And of course, extremely valuable. Given abilities such as, for instance, a human carrier, it is infinitely dangerous. In fact, it presents the ultimate threat. This was the problem that Shroud, a doctor of some 200-odd years, was called upon to solve. Go Shroud. Silver Shroud. Switch these over. Cul-de-sac, that's what I'm going to call this, by Richard Cowper. I clearly bought this for the cover. I like the maple leaves. I don't know why they're in there, but I do like this weird robot man. Earth, 2,000 years after the final Holocaust was drove man deep underground, a ghostly, deserted landscape peopled only by the diligent robots who, century after century, silently harvest grain which no man will eat. Are they doing this because they're like just used to doing it, or are they doing it like for a reason? I'm curious. Up into this eerie world comes Mel, a questioning young roamer who has disobeyed the law which says he must never venture into or beyond the lost levels. Together with 3 companions and a companion not of Earth, I'm intrigued, Mel takes on the awesome trek of freeing human beings from the tyranny imposed on them by remote ancestors, of justifying the agonized cry of Barney as he died in a forbidden level. I'm a man! Everything is for man! Yeah, it is. Cul-de-sac. 1973. Ooh. This comes in a fancy package. Doris Peischer-Chia, I still can't say her name, the Spinner. So as you know, I'm a very big fan of the Pfluger, and so as soon as I saw Doris, I was like, you're mine. In search for new sources of energy that led one man to an accidental breakthrough into a strange parallel world. It was apparently deserted and might have been a good place to prospect until the finder panicked. He tried to shut the dimensional crack that led into the other place. But the breakthrough had prematurely awakened that world's most predatory inhabitant from hibernation. And in raging fury, the Spinner slipped through to find himself alone and hungry in an American city loaded with good things to eat. People! So it's basically the Pfluger with like a weird deformed Spider-Man instead of the Pfluger. Very unique. It's also like Mario. Mario versus like weird Venom Spider-Man. Couple more. Rogers and Lasney, The Changing Land. I really liked Roadmark, so I was like, I'll grab another one of his. The Mad God's Maze. When Dilvish escaped from hell, he swore to kill the evil wizard who had put him there. Makes sense. But Jelarak, Lord of Castle Timeless, was missing. I'm going to call my house Castle Timeless. And around the castle, the Changing Land was a sorcerous maelstrom of warped reality and living nightmare created by the awesome magic of the insane god Tualalula, whatever. Now a small army of magicians, sorcerers, and wizards, like resurrected Queen Semirama and foul Baron of the Third Hand, and lovely Arlada the Elf, sought to possess the arcane secrets of Castle Timeless. The situation, Delvish realized, was a mess. Cotton, thaumaturgic? I don't know. Is that a real word? Probably. Caught in this chaos as wizardry fought sorcery, where the churning dreams of a mutating god could shatter the world, Delvish sought Geralak through the most deadly magic spells of destiny and time. I'm sure this book is going to be wild. The Playmasters. Rod Martin and John Dalmas. I bought this solely for the woman with the cat, because that's like my aesthetic. Never will so many have given so much for so few. The aliens came to Earth not for conquest, but simply to create a war and watch it be played out by humans. But they are prohibited from using any technology not developed on the planet, and 20th century armaments are too primitive for good sport. The answer? To persuade the Air Force Chief of Staff to found a think tank group under their secret guidance for the development of 20th century technology. Oh my god. If Jan Ambers, an electronics expert turned warrior, cannot stop them, the result will be global devastation. I really hope that Jan Ambers is this woman here, and the main character is her and not some other person. I'm very curious. Nope. It's a boy. Also, it's in first person, and I'm not super into this now, because I don't really like first person. CJ Shara. I have never read one of their books. Look at the cover of this one. Of course I had to buy this. I have a few of their books, but I've never read one before. So this is an omnibus collection of 2 books. Cuckoo's Egg, about a person named the Thorn. He was this ugly guy who was an alien. He has to learn his true purpose. And then the second book, sorry, this is a lot, I'm not going to read the whole thing. The second one's called Serpent's Reach, and it's a vengeance story. I guess these 2 aren't related at all. I could just read the one. Anyway, yeah, one's way longer than the other. Anyway, I'm very intrigued in all of these. So, that was a pretty good haul. And I'm going to talk about the 4 other ones that I bought. There's a sticky on this one. Get out of here. Okay. So, I ordered these ones off Amazon because I just felt like it. So, the first one I ordered and got, well, I actually ordered this one a long time ago. I got a Pip and Flinks book. I owned and have read the first 5 of this Pip and Flinks, but I didn't get the kind of 3 or 4 in between because I really wanted a copy of this one, and they're kind of hard to find. I can never find them. You can find a couple of them at used bookstores, but like I'm never going to find all of them, and I really want to read this one because there's these weird, like, reptilian aliens in this one, and they're, like, my favorite. So I bought this one for that. I'll read it at some point. Hopefully this year. I bought Hyperion by Dan Simons. So, Books with Brittany, another channel, a fantastic channel on here. I really like her channel. She does such a good job. So anyway, she talks about this book all the time, and I was like, well, I love old school sci-fi, so why wouldn't I read this too? So I bought it from Amazon. So we'll see what I think about it. I got Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Black Spire. So I really liked Delilah Dawson's Phasma book. It's up there in my shelf. I don't know if you can see it. But, and then I didn't realize that this was actually kind of a continuation of the one character story. So I bought this just kind of at random for me. And then I bought this. It's called The Inside Out Man. I'll read you this one. It's by Fred Stidrum. Called Bent is a jazz pianist living gig to gig in a dark city of dead ends. With no family, no friends, he has resigned himself to a life of quiet desolation. That is until the night he meets the enigmatic Leonard Fry. After accepting an invitation to his countryside mansion where Leonard resides on his own, Bent is offered a deal of Faustian proportions. There is a room in this house. There's only one way in and one way out. There's one lock on the door and only one key to that lock. Now what I'm going to ask may seem strange to you. I don't necessarily need you to understand, but what I do need is for you to agree to help me. So I guess he decides to explore this house, and he starts. It's a psychological horror story. So I can't remember where I heard about this, but I read the first, the sample on Amazon on the look inside, and it seemed really interesting. So I just bought it at random because I had a gift card for Amazon.com, and because I don't live in the United States, I decided to order a physical book because I can't use Amazon.com gift cards on my Amazon.ca Kindle account, or I would have just bought a bunch of like indie books with that gift card, but oh well. So anyway, that was my book haul. I hope you enjoyed that. Have you read any of these old school science fictions or any of the 4? If you have, don't give me any spoilers or I will be mad. And is there one of the stack, if you have read it, I should read first? Like, I don't know, there's so many of them that I really want to read. I might start with the one about, I might start with the rite of passage. Oh, but I want to read the Dirter as well. I can't decide. Anyway, thank you.